AVC Vineyard sound setup this morning. So we kind of walk in, and this is where our stuff is. Janitor's bring it up for us. So take the covers off. That's the small one's the sound. The bigger one's the video. Okay, so we've got the covers off, and this is kind of positioned where it should be. Covers are over there, just in kind of in front of that doorway. And then we'll slide this cover out of the front. Go back here. And power for this whole rack unit. Come out there. Keys for the door. Both the video and the sound can plug into that. And then this will power up. And then we'll take the snake part of the console, Cat 6. This is React B. And run this cable back here. Plugging it into B. And the green tape matches the green tape. And then, so from there, it's going up through the trusses, comes back down, in behind the black curtain, inside where the room divider is stored. There's two doors that open up in there, and we'll go do that next. So, side stage here. This is our wireless and snake plug-in stuff. This is DI's cable for click drums. This is some of our drum microphones, and this is our in-ear extenders, foamies for people. They have their names here. A couple of wireless, or not wireless, in-ear units. There's a couple of generic unused foamies in there for so let's open this up. These are all our inputs, labeled corresponding to what's on the console. So if you look at the rack here, it goes 1 through 4, 5 through 8, so on and so forth. This is our wireless stuff, which usually stays plugged in. We'll start at the back and plug in. Snake. This is our power cord for the rack, which goes back here. I usually tie it around something. Give it a good anchor, plug it into this plug here. So here we have, this is React A and React B. And we have our left and right feed going to our amps. I'm going to take that back behind the curtain, and there's a little cubby where this room divider gets stored in, and it's pretty awkward to get in there, but there's a wall plate in there labeled for plugging this stuff in. There's left and right, React A and B, and there's also 2 speak-on jacks for our subs. Okay. we're going in. You can see this down here. So we got left, main right, and react A and B. I always plug both in at the back here, at the front, I guess this is. At the console end, we just plug in B. And then down below here, there's 2 speak-on jacks for our subs. And we'll do that next, but I probably won't show it on video. Okay, so in here, we've got our mic stands and guitar stands. A bunch of these are out already. This one just kind of fits in like that when everything's in there. Kickstand, tall vocal stands, drum stands. They go in here. There's a bungee cord that can go across, kind of hold them. So, we leave the clips on. So if you grab the ones, these are the ones for the smaller condenser mics for the drum overheads. And then up above here, this bin has the trays that hold the M48 monitor mixers. What else can I say? This is where our drum shield's stored back there. This is definitely a 2-person job. Very heavy, awkward, but necessary. We've got some cables stuff here. We've got XLRs, Cat 5, and we've got power and speak-on for our subs. Subs are stacked like this, so a 2-person job. We put one just beside the door, right here. Put one there, and then mirror image on the other side. And then we have local mics and some instrument mics. So 57s, 58s, and this is our primary speaking mic.
They're having fun. You better.
For doing announcements and stuff like that. We also have a headset mic that whoever's speaking that on Sunday wears. So this is just a monitor pack that we don't use that much.
This is a song.
And yeah. So this is our custom-made power cord. It's like a stage runner kind of a power cord. So everything on the stage can plug into it. Plug into one dedicated circuit. Right above where we plug our rack into. And then we run along the back. Back of the stage. Go around the drum kit and then come out that way, and then Travis can plug in and then so on. There's another plug in here. There's one right here. Oh. So the reason we run that power cord is because we don't have access to the breaker panel for any of the plugs along the wall. Same with the back there. That's why we go into that room. The reason we made this power cord is
Whoa, he's exalted by
a lot of the plugs are on the same circuit. So this plug we can get to right here. All these plugs. So shouldn't have to turn anything on here. Unless this is the dimmer, the old dimmer. Special occasions we'll turn that on, but everything should be on. So we got 2 speak-on cables in this bin, and obviously they're for the subs. One looks a little different, wired the same, a little longer. Doesn't matter. They both reach. Doesn't matter which side you plug them into. So speak-on comes out of that jack there. We plugged our react. Here, there's 2 speak-on jacks for our subs. Cable in our left and right, and subs. Okay. So plugging in speak-on back here. It doesn't matter which one you plug into. Both wired the same. So this is our monitor mix system, M48s. This It's a storage case for them. The way they plug into our system is through Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable. Comes back to our rack unit. And getting connected through the Cat 6 cables, that's where they all plug in here. It doesn't matter where they go, as long as they go anywhere in this silver section. And that's power and signal for everything. So we will go and look at one. These are, I call them mixer trays. They clamp onto either a mic stand or a music stand. Above here, this bin has the trays that hold the M48 monitor mixers, and try to put the load or the weight over a leg so it doesn't tip over as easy. Yeah. So this is our drum snake set up to the drummer's left.
Who's this for?
Just kind of in front of the hi-hat on the floor there.
Rolling system.
And then the cables are all labeled to where they go. And then this end's just numbered, and they go number for number. So 8, got 4, 7, so on and so on. And everyone's pulling cables around me. 3. So there we go, 1 through 8, that's our drum snake. Okay, so we're gonna go upstairs to the amp rack. Everything's plugged in now. Very important that everything's plugged in first and the rack is all connected to the soundboard. So this is our rack. This is a dimmer for lighting. You don't have to worry about that. There's some monitor cables, some more monitor cables here. So back here we have a power bar. There's a switch on it. Just click it on. Turns our processor on. And once it's booted up, we can start turning on our amps. This amp is an old monitor amp. It says monitor 3 and 4. So we're not running that. Just our QSCs. So just power them on one at a time. None of the volumes have to be adjusted. Same goes for when you're shutting down. Don't turn the volumes down, just turn the amps off, turn the processor off. Just reverse of what we did. Our rack is connected. The reason we know it's connected, these lights are flashing. This light down here is showing it's connected to our console at the back. So back at the console here, and looking at React B, and the way it's flashing, it's just flashing a steady on-off. That means that it's connected to the rack. So we'll go and look at our console now. So we have, this is our main volume obviously. All right, I got my flash drive here. I'm gonna load in, I have settings for the different worship leaders and bands and stuff like that. So I'm gonna plug my flash drive in. I'm gonna go system. And then down here, we're gonna click on load save. And then this is showing what's on the flash drive. This is showing what's gonna load in different parameters for these save settings. So we're gonna hit all. And go back to Travis, and we're gonna hit load. It's gonna ask if we wanna load that. Yes, we wanna load it. All right. And we're gonna go to our channel display, push this button here. Okay. Okay, so we usually run our master fader at around unity. We don't usually vary from there. So you have 1 through 24, 25 through 48. And you have your channel display. If any time you want to go into something on a channel, just select. Any compressor is there. Your gate is there. Buttons start, lights or knobs start flashing corresponding to different colors on there. Oops. anytime you want to back out of this, you can hit that. Or if you're in there, you want to go back to your channel display, hit channel display. In channel display, you can go, if you want to look at your EQ a little closer, just click display, that'll show your EQ. Just select for different channels. Back out, go channel display. Show some of these function buttons that we have. This is that's our main mute. This is like our effects mute. This is our delay mute, and this is tap tempo for delay. So some of these other function buttons might be set for other stuff. 8 pulls us to our main EQ. Now we don't touch our main EQ, very rarely that we have to do. But one thing that we can look at is it's showing an RTA on here, but you have to go up and select the channel that you want to look at. So let's look at, just hi-hats for now. See, it's starting to pick up stuff there. Because I've selected hats, we haven't done sound check yet, so it's just stuff coming through. That can be handy to look at stuff. But don't adjust the EQ when you're here. This is the master EQ for the whole system. But you can just use the RTA selecting the channel to look at stuff. So for recording, we only record the person speaking, like Gary or guest speakers speaking. The way we do that, there's a little prompt here to make sure that you're recording. This is our recording device. This is showing different messages that are saved on here from previous times. So if you see that, you just hit record and it'll start. It's not starting, but it's paused, it's queued up. Hit record again, and it started a new record file. One other thing I'll show you, the stop button is also the back button. So here it says music and records. If you're on music, it might be hard to see on there, but you can scroll. I don't know if it shows on there, but there's a white background around. Select records, hit play or forward, and it shows our records again. Back out, and it's highlighting music right now, so we'll hit yes. And then there's just some background music that we have on there. It's kind of some old Jesus Culture stuff. Might be a little too upbeat for end of service, but in a pinch, that's what we can go to. So we'll go back and we'll go down to our records, select that, and we'll just queue it up. So hit record. And so it's queued, ready to go. And now we don't have to adjust anything usually. It just comes off our master feed coming out of the console, comes over to here. Down below here, there's a little bar that should show green when it's recording. Like that'll be your signal coming in. It'll show green, and yeah, you just want to make sure it's not clipping. Pretty simple. Stop recording. At the end of the service, there's a little memory card in here. Give it to the video person, and they can upload it through Dropbox to the office, and then they can get put on the website. It's a little bit funny plugging it in sometimes. So for sound check purposes, I just use this as a talkback mic. This is our MC or announcements person's mic. It usually sits right here, corner of the stage. A bunch of these are out already. This one just kind of fits in like that when everything's in there. We leave it off, but we leave it unmuted at the console and fader up. That way at any time someone can take it and start doing announcements, and if you're not totally in the loop, they won't catch you off guard. Okay, so find this mic. It's on the second layer, channel 25, right on the end. second layer down 25 through 48 is handheld 1. So mute, and doesn't come through, and yeah, so I use this for sound check. So we'll start with Travis, and we'll just bring it down a little bit. Go to this first layer, Travis's vocal 1.
What do you want from me, big boy?
And we'll just try your vocal.
Check 1, 2. God is so good.
So I've selected the channel, and we're going to look on the gain structure for the channel. This is our gain here. Show over here. Okay, this is gain. There's pad. There's your phantom power. There's your high pass filter on off. EQ on off. You want that on. Display. You can go and look at display. There's your gate. There's your compression. These are function knobs used for EQing. They're also used for gating and compression and some other things. We'll jump into our effects. You can do sends on fader, so select reverb, delay, verb is like a shortened reverb for drums and stuff like that, and then there's a dimension used for guitars, kind of a chorus kind of a thing. So you can just select those things. So if we go reverb, sends on fader, that's how much reverb for vocal 1. Vocal 2's got some reverb on it, right? But if you click sends on fader out, then you're back to your main mixing platform. So before we were talking about sends on fader for our, these are our effects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
And so what I didn't show was where the effects are coming back into the console. They're on the second layer. What is this channel? 41 through 48. So it's labeled down here, dimension, verb, reverb, delay. This function 3,
I'm a big pianist.
you can see it. It's a quick key to mute the delay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it for now. So for our speaking person, for the main speak, lapel 2. It says lapel 2. It's actually a headset.
Yes, we can do something. How did you guess that?
Check our battery. Yeah, we got 2 bars, so should be good.
Okay.
And headset. There's a couple other packs in here saying 3. There's a couple extra Countrymen's. We always try to stick with the one that's labeled 2, L2, and that shows up on our, what's that, 27? Yeah. 3rd fader on the 2nd level. So batteries, we got 9 volts in here. Should be lots of 9 volts, a couple double A's, triple A's, primarily 9 volts is what we're looking at. There's some extra foamies in here for the in-ears. This mic is kind of home base for this. So that goes there. And this is just before everyone gets here. We've done sound check rehearsal. So we're going to move all this. Rubbermaid bins, we'll stack them up inside the room there. Put all the mic cases away and sort of tidy things up on stage. Just check things like this and cord routing and yeah, we'll clean things up now. Double check any wireless batteries that we need to do. And then when we close those doors, we'll pull the curtain across.
Yeah, and so just grab your mic and you can just walk
This
up
curtain
here.
slides across. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Get our stuff stacked in there. And close this door.